Hey everybody, Tony Katz, TIR Nation, TIRNation.com, joined by Tabitha Hale, the new media director at the Franklin Center HQ. Is it .org?
.org.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you,
It is
Tony.
always a pleasure. The bloggers, the new media people, I actually wrote the article just a few weeks ago, very much in favor of Rick Perry. They were, the establishment for Mitt Romney, the bloggers for Rick Perry. Rick Perry getting out of this race. What does that say about new media, and where will new media people, bloggers, video people, radio people, where will they go?
It's an interesting question, and I think if you look at 2008, bloggers kind of circled around Fred Thompson.
Right.
So obviously we have an awesome track record. I think what it boils down to is that the bloggers are just more engaged. They know more about the records. They know more than the gaffes on the stage. And I think that as a result of that, you tend to see the stronger policy people, the stronger economic plans, the people with stronger proven leadership records are the ones that the bloggers circle around, and they care less about the charisma, about the winning a
They're
debate.
less on rhetoric, they're more on true substance.
Because that's what we do, is we sit there and obsess and watch it all day, every day.
So you have Perry getting out of this race,
Yes.
the guy who has a solid record as a conservative in Texas, elected 3 times as governor, a man who shot a coyote while jogging, which, by the way, is a plus when looking for a candidate. And he comes out and endorses Newt Gingrich, a guy who splits the blogosphere in half like no one else except maybe for Romney. Will people rally around that, listen to him, and go to Gingrich?
I don't know that they will at this point. I think everybody's really jaded at this point. I think that there will be a contingent that absolutely goes to Newt, because there's the anti-Mitt sentiment, which is not to be underestimated. There's a very strong anti-Mitt sentiment among activists, among bloggers, and among a lot of people.
Is it all about Romney care? I mean, is in the end result, is that what it's about?
I think that's a very, very large piece of it, yes. And I think that's all there needs to be. If you think about it from our perspective, from an activist perspective, from somebody who's been a part of the Tea Party movement since it began, who started doing this thing from day one, that was what we rallied around. That was what we fought tooth and nail for the last, 3 years. We have fought for this so hard, this one specific issue. So the idea of supporting the person who helped Barack Obama write this, whose advisors worked with him on this, is more than a lot of people can stomach.
With Perry getting out of the race, will the blogosphere, will the new media people say conservatism is dead? Or conservatism needs to find a better, more articulate champion?
I think that there's going to be a period where everybody gets despondent. We have to go home and lick our wounds, and I think we'll come back. I mean, I think we're just going to. I think there's a lot of fight left in the people that I know. I think that we care too much to just let it.
I've been around these people a long time. I don't think they're going anywhere.
We care too much, and there's a faction of people that are going to continue this fight. It doesn't matter how much momentum's on our side. Mind you, I think that the momentum is still there. I think that people are so terrified of Barack Obama, and that's what we've seen. We said nobody attacked Mitt Romney until Newt Gingrich finally had the cojones to go after him in the past couple weeks. But prior to that, nobody went after Mitt Romney.
Right.
And he had Michelle Bachmann and Herman Cain following him around, protecting him essentially in these debates. Nobody went on the attack, and I think that that's how he skated through this long, and nobody's really analyzed everything, because his record, first of all, was old news, because he's done this before. We all are familiar with Mitt. We know him. He was most of our options in 2008 as a backup when
Right.
But when your other option's John McCain, that doesn't really say much.
That is Tabitha Hale, not opinionated in the slightest. The new media director at Franklin Center HQ.org. A pleasure to have you here. Keep it here at TIR Nation. All the late-breaking happenings from Charleston, South Carolina, where we're coming to you, our debate coverage, our primary coverage, right here, TIR Nation, TIRNation.com. We'll see you soon.